Alright, so I'm going to give, quick tidbits on how to use this, my favorite add-on, which is Power Auras, and it's very customizable, so you can pretty much do anything, and it helps me monitor things from debuffs and new raid bosses, and it lets me put in positions that I really want them in, and the size that I want. So I'm not limited by an add-on that's very specific in just giving you these numbers and doing this. I use it to monitor a cooldown, I can use it to monitor a debuff on the boss that I applied. It can monitor how many stacks of a buff I have. So if you just look at a quick rotation, I can monitor my procs from my trinkets. I can monitor how many stacks of that buff I have. Let's see if I can get some more in real quick so I can show that once I get two of these I'll know how to see. I have two of them. I'll use one and then I'll use the other. See, I can see how long I have for this enrage buff. I basically can monitor anything, and I'm going to give you a, week by week. This gives me the length of the debuff on this boss, the Colossus Smash. So I'm going to give you guys, every week I'm going to try to add one thing so it's not overwhelming, just to give you guys, get your toes a little wet and to see how useful this add-on is. Alright, so let's start off with monitoring a debuff or dot on the boss. So basically for a priest rotation you need to monitor two different dots. So they apply as a debuff, and you can see them right here, but I'm not going to really want to monitor that number the whole time or anything like that. And if I have a bunch of targets, this add-on, which is Tidy Plates, does monitor all the buffs. So it's really nice and it gives the timers. But let's say I need to watch things on the ground, I need to, watch out for certain abilities, interrupts, and do things like that. Let's say that I want to just have some kind of add-on that pops something big that says, hey, reapply this dot. And I'll show you exactly how to do that with Power Aura. So let's first off say I want to do Shadow Word Pain, and I need to make sure that I'm warned that I need to refresh that. So let's start off, when you download Power Auras Classic, that's the one you need to download from Curse or whatever. That's where I usually download them. Let's start on page 2. I have some Power Auras up there, but let's just start fresh. Let's say I want to make a new one. Okay. Now usually when I monitor debuffs, I like an aura kind of texture. You can pick any kind of texture. There's a bunch of them, but I usually like an aura texture because basically I could put a number in there and it'll be nice. You want to find something that kind of looks like the word Shadow Word Pain. Maybe this will work for me. I'm just going to slide it out, and I'm going to make sure that it's on debuff. Okay, and if I want to monitor a debuff on myself, you don't have to change anything, but since I want to monitor a debuff I'm applying to the boss, I'm going to put enemy target. And as a rule of thumb, I usually put it as cast by me, because sometimes if you're in a raid of 25 people, you don't want to worry about other priests putting on Shadow Word Pain and then messing up my macro, or my Power Aura. So I make sure that I put cast by me. And so we're going to go to debuff and we're going to put exactly what it says, copy verbatim, Shadow Word Pain. So Shadow Word Pain. Okay, and then I want to make sure that I know the timer, because I need to know how long I have left on that. So I'm going to click show. Whenever you do a timer stack, you need to click show, and sometimes it won't come up at first, so you need to double click it off, double click it on, and you see that'll come up. I usually like to take off the hundreds because I'm not going to be accurate by the hundreds. It's kind of a waste of space. Hide leading zeros, and then use transparent textures because I think it looks better if you do it that way. So make sure that the top bar moves the actual picture and this bottom bar moves the number. So I'm just going to resize it so it fits in there, and then I'm going to make sure that it looks nice and neat in there. And you can always change the color of the number and the macro. So if I want to change it to purple, since Shadow Word Pain feels like a purple ability, you can pick any color you want and press OK. And then if you want the number to be its own color, you can always do that too, just to be more customizable. I can barely see that purple, so I'll probably pick something like white. It's clear to me. And so what's going to happen is that once I use Shadow Word Pain, you see how it makes a nice pretty icon that I will easily be able to distinguish. And I can place it wherever I want. I can make it how big I want. But the problem with this is that I don't want to have to monitor the whole number the whole time. Okay, and it's good to have one of these because if you're moving around facing other things, you're might not be facing the boss all the time. So at least the Power Aura stays with me. Now the best way to do a dot is this. I'm going to invert the aura until the time is below, let's say 3 seconds, because 3 seconds feels like it gives me enough time to make sure that I react. Okay, so I'll close this. I'll hit Shadow Word Pain, and look, the power aura won't pop up because I don't want to know when I have 15 seconds on that dot. It's just kind of like a waste of information. I don't want to be overloaded with information because once you make all the powers for all your rotation, it gets kind of cluttered. Okay, so see how it's at 2, 1, then I know to reapply it. I don't even have to worry about Shadow Word Pain until this thing pops up. It's kind of like whack-a-mole to me. It's like I just react to it coming up, and it feels very fluid when I know that. So instead of doing that, I could just worry about doing, if I need to do something else, apply a different debuff. Oh, Shadow Word Pain, I'll just reapply that right now. And so I can just, keep my rotation up without really having to worry about anything else. And it just feels more smooth. I'm not having to even look at this or monitor that debuff. All I need to know is I just react to what's on my screen, fill in with Mind Flay, and then, Power Word Pain or Shadow Word Pain needs to be reapplied. Simply press it. So that's one of the ways. I can also do it for Vampiric Touch because you have to monitor 2 dots. So if I want to monitor 2 dots, let's say I need one for Shadow Word Pain. I'm going to create a new one, and I guess Vampiric Touch seems kind of white to me, or whatever. Don't really care. I could make it red just to make it different. And I'll use a different picture, and you could place it wherever you want. I'll do the same thing, show timer, lead hundredths, and you can make a new one. Or one thing that I like to do, let's just delete this. I could just, since it's a dot as well, I could just copy it right into page 2. It'll be the same thing. I'll just move it to the right a little bit. Then I'll take the timer and I'll move it to the right. Let's make sure it's back up. And I'll move it to the right. And I'll just change the icon and the color. So I'll go to the texture. Maybe I like that better. And let's just set it to maybe red. Sounds good to me. So now both of them will be inverted at 3 seconds. And so I have a good idea of what I need to do. So if I hit that, apply Vampiric Touch, then do Mind Blast, then Mind Flay. Oh, Devouring Play came up. Mind Flay. I don't know. I just need a Mind Flay. I have nothing proccing right now. I have that proc. Then now all of a sudden I can reapply the buffs I need to. And it's just easy as that. It gives you a nice hint. I don't have to monitor anything besides any extra other proc. So I'm only really waiting for something to pop up. So see, I popped up a Mind Blast, Instant Mind Blast. I know I need to refresh both of these, so I'm going to refresh both of them. And that's basically it. It just makes DPSing easier because I only have to monitor a few things, and now I can keep my eyes on the environment and not worry too much about all that, but still keep my DPS high. So hopefully that helped. I'll be putting out more videos every week when I get a chance, and good luck.